Over the last few weeks, we've been thinking about silence and solitude, and thinking about how we can enter into silence and just in that place of silence be present with God and allow God to minister to us. And in the on the website, on the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry page, after sessions 3, 4, 5 and 6, you'll see at the bottom there's a PDF which John Mark Comer has produced of a workbook which accompanies the book. And the workbook is just gives examples of how to live these things out in practice. And I want to take you through one of those about silence now, which I did with my group this week and with some of the staff team as well. And just to allow you in this place to practice being in silence. And it's particularly called Feeling and Listening Prayer, number 2 in his workbook. And it talks about offering our emotions to God. It talks about in our emotions we find a place to meet God and open ourselves up to him in new ways. It talks about emotions being the language of the soul. And they're God's way of coming to us with perhaps direction or discipline or a way of drawing near to God, meeting him in our struggles and in our pain and in our difficulties. So I'd like to invite you to find a quiet place to just sit and make yourself really comfortable. And I invite you to close your eyes and just relax your body. And just concentrate on your breathing. Allow yourself to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. You may even like to just say the phrase on your breath, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. And in the silence, I want to invite you to see what emotions in you come to the surface. You might feel joy, gratitude, sadness, emptiness, worry, anxiety, guilt, shame, anger. Don't run away from the negative emotions. Just allow whatever God wants to bring to the surface to come to the surface. And name that emotion before God right now. And I invite you to take that emotion and to offer it to God. If it's a good emotion, happy, joy, then actually just share it with God, speak it out to God, just offer him your thanks and your praise for feeling that way. If it's a negative emotion, then offer that to God. Imagine yourself holding out that negative emotion to God and asking God to take that emotion from you. If you're anxious, just say to God, what is it that you're anxious about? And give him that thing, or imagine putting it at the foot of the cross. If you find yourself angry, just tell God why you're angry. Just tell God, express your anger to God. If you've got unanswered questions about your life or just things that you don't understand, just tell God those things right now. Tell him how it feels to not know the answer. And just offer those and be patient before God's. And just share your deepest emotions with him. And if it's a negative emotion that came to the surface with you, then I invite you to offer that negative emotion to God and to leave it with God, to leave it at the foot of the cross and ask God to take that from you. And in return, just think of the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Which one of those fruit of the Spirit do you need to receive in place of that negative emotion from God now? Just imagine taking that gift from Him and ask Him to grow that fruit within you in this moment. And I invite you to imagine Jesus coming and sitting down next to you and putting His arm around your shoulder and just saying those words again: "You are my precious child, in whom I am well pleased." Just sit with Jesus for a moment and allow Him to just reveal more of His love for you in this moment. And now we invite you to listen to the voice of God. Maybe ask God a question. Just imagine Jesus sitting next to you. Ask Him the question: is there anything you want to say to me today? Just ask Him that in the quietness. And just listen to see if you sense any response from God. And in the quiet, I just invite you to respond however you want to respond to what God's been doing in you in these last few minutes. Maybe you say a prayer of gratitude, maybe just asking God for help to live this out, to continue to know His peace. Just respond however you want to respond to Him in prayer as we finish. And we finish as we began, just by saying those words: be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Maybe that's a practice that you could do just for 5 minutes every morning or every evening. Why don't you try it in the remaining days of lockdown and just be still, offering God your deepest emotions, dwelling with Him, listening to His voice, and just see the difference that it can make and what God wants to say to you. God bless.